My name is Gillian. I'm from Ireland, but I live in London. I live there with my family, with my Kiwi husband, Dave, and my two children, Finn and Orla. And we arrived in Nepal just over 2 weeks ago to basically fulfill my husband's bucket list dream of redoing a trek in Nepal. And he's dragged us all along with him. It took us 10 days, or we took 10 days. I think you can do it longer or shorter, but we chose to do it in 10 days so that we could take our time to acclimatize. It's the first 3 days were quite hard climbing, sort of up quite steep mountains, but very, very beautiful. And we could always see the Himalayas ahead of us. And we could see Manaslu and other peaks, and it was really beautiful. And we had fantastic weather. We were really lucky with the weather. And then we had a few easier days where we did shorter treks, but they were a bit steeper and some acclimatization. We stopped at Samagan for 2 nights, and that's quite a big town, sort of 2/3 of the way up before it starts to get steeper and you're really getting into altitude. And then we got into sort of 3,000-4,000 feet. And the last couple of days, I have to say it was really hard. It was the altitude started to get to us. We started to get tired, and we were walking very slowly, which takes a lot of patience, but you have to go slowly because the altitude makes it really difficult. And if you go any faster, you're going to get really sick. We were all starting to have headaches and tummy pains and different things, but we kept going. And so the journeys were then shorter. And then the second last day, we got up at 3 a.m. and hiked in the dark with head torches, which was a completely unique experience. A little daunting, challenging, but kind of cool at the same time because you could see all these people ahead of you in the dark with their head torches. So it was quite magic. And the stars, just this cloud, the sky above us just completely full with stars. So that was really magic, and we trekked then for about 5 hours to get to Larkya La Pass, and that was definitely the hardest part. It was incredibly difficult. We were all getting tired, getting a little cranky with each other, if I'm really honest. There were a few short words spoken, but we just kept going, and I was really proud of my two kids, how they just, even though they really didn't want to, they kept going. And their lovely dad was just feeding them chocolate the whole time to encourage them. And then we made it, and then it was just incredible to get there. And we all had a huge sense of achievement. And then going down the other side was like flying down a roller coaster because the kids practically skipped down. We had the rest of that day, about another 4 to 6 hours of hiking and another day, and we just flew down. And we were walking through rhododendron valleys and forests. It was really, really stunning. It's really difficult for me to pick one particular day. I think it was the day in Samaran was really beautiful because we hiked up to the lake, the glacier lake. That was really gorgeous. It was stunning and still really interesting. Samaran is quite a lovely place, and I really enjoyed, the sense of rest there as well between the two parts of the trip. But the night in Dharamsala, even though the accommodation is really basic, it was very social, and everyone was in one room and everyone was mixing and meeting all these other people from different countries. That felt really special, really unique. And then hiking down through the rhododendron valley, that was breathtaking, really very beautiful. I think don't be afraid of how hard it is, and embrace it, and just, step by step is the cliche, but just be patient with yourself. Make sure you're listening to your guide. Always listen to Nam, and always take the advice of your guide. And eat carefully, eat enough, but eat slowly, walk slowly, just slowly with everything. Be patient, and not to be afraid of it, because I think I was very nervous about how hard, particularly the day where we went over Larkya Pass would be. And it was hard, but it was fine. It wasn't half as bad as I was expecting. My husband found places in Nepal online, and he did a lot of research. My husband always does loads of research when we do any holidays. And he spent a lot of time finding a really good company. And I think he was really happy with the information and the advice and the price as well. It was good value. And so we were really, really pleased with, in fact, I would have to say we were thrilled with places Nepal and how well we were looked after. I think we found really professional, very reassuring and just really kind and very nice and fun. And we learned some new card games and learned lots of different bits and pieces of information about Kathmandu and Nepal and the history and the people and the area, the geography. So yeah, I think it just felt really professional and experienced and very safe. I mean, everything, I really think everything was excellent. Like the duffel bags were very useful, they were very practical, that was really good. The porters were lovely, they were so helpful. They never complained that we gave them way too much to carry. The advice we got and the places that we went to were really good. They were chosen, you could see they were chosen because they had either good accommodation or really good food. There was a good reason for everything. And I think the advice we got about the kit was really good. That was excellent too. So I think explain all those things to people the way you did to us. It's really good.